Now we're going to solve linear equations with brackets and x's on both sides. So the first thing we need to do is, in my first example, expand both sides. So 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3 is plus 6. And that equals, once we've expanded this side, 5 times 2x, which is 10x, and 5 times minus 1, which was minus 5. So now I've got an x on both sides, I need to look for my smallest x. My smallest x is going to be between 2x and 10x, so it's going to be 2x. So I want to get rid of that 2x. How can I get rid of plus 2x? I'm going to subtract 2x. So subtract 2x from both sides. So 2x plus 6 minus 2x is just going to leave me with 6, because 2x minus 2x gives me 0, which is what I wanted. And then on this side, I've got 10x minus 5 minus 2x. So that gives me 6, which equals, and I can see I've got 10x and minus 2x. So if I collect the like terms, 10x minus 2x is 8x. And then I've got a minus 5. So now what I need to do is I need to solve it so I've got my x equals at the bottom. Now, as you can see, our x is on this side, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to work with it as it is. So we've got 8 times x, and we're subtracting 5 from that. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of the minus 5. How do I get rid of minus 5? Well, I add 5 to both sides. So I'm going to have on this side 6 plus 5, and on this side 8x minus 5 plus 5 just gives me 8x, because the minus 5 and the plus 5 make 0. So I've got 11 equals 8x. Now what I want to do is get rid of this 8. So I'm currently doing 8 times x. So to get rid of the 8, I'm going to divide by 8. So I've got on this side 11 divided by 8, and on this side 8x divided by 8. Well, 8 divided by 8 is just going to be 1, so I'm left with 1x. Now, as you can see, I've got an improper fraction because the top's bigger than the bottom, so I need to make it a mixed number. So how many 8's go into 11? It's just going to be 1. And then what's my remainder? Well, it's going to be 3/8, and that equals x. So to write it as a solution, we'll put the x back on the side we like it, and x equals 1 3/8 is going to be our solution for that question. Now, if I move to this side, I've got a new example. So 3 lots of 1 minus 2x equals 4 lots of x plus 1. So I'm going to expand both sides. So 3 times 1 is going to be 3, and 3 times minus 2x is minus 6x. And then that equals this side once it's expanded. So we've got 4 times x, which is 4x, and 4 times 1, which is 4. So now I've got an x on both sides, which isn't what I want. So I need to look for my smallest x. So I've got 4x and I've got minus 6x. Which one's going to be smaller? Well, because it's a minus 6x, that one's going to be our smaller one. So that's the one we want to get rid of. How do I get rid of minus 6x? Add 6x, because that's the inverse. So I'm going to add 6x to both sides. So on this side, I've got 3 minus 6x plus 6x, so that's just going to be 3. Because plus 6x minus 6x equals 0, which is what I wanted. And then on this side, I've got 4x plus 4 plus 6x. So that gives me 3, which equals, and then I need to do some simplifying. So I've got 4x and a plus 6x. So altogether, that's 10x's and 4. Oh, sorry, I've got my x. There we go, 10x plus 4. So again, we've got our x's on this side, which isn't our favourite way of having them, but that's fine because we'll swap it around at the end. So we've got 10 x's and we're adding on 4. So I need to get rid of my plus 4 first. How do I get rid of plus 4? Subtract 4. And I'm going to do that from both sides. So on this side, I've got 3 minus 4. And on this side, 10x plus 4 minus 4 is just going to be 10x. Because plus 4 minus 4 is 0. So that gives me 3 minus 4 is minus 1, which equals 10x. And then I want to get my x on its own. Currently, I'm multiplying it by 10, so I need to do the inverse, which is divide by 10. So I'll divide by 10. So on this side, I've got minus 1 divided by 10. And on this side, I've got 10x divided by 10. 10 divided by 10 is just going to be 1, so I'm left with my 1x. So my solution is going to be x equals minus a tenth. And that's my answer.
Okay, Mary, so let's have a look at this one. So solve x plus 2x equals 12. So what do you think you do first?
Okay, well, I want x on its own, so I would put x equals 12 minus 2x.
Okay, so a lot of the time we want to get x by itself, but what we want to do first is get all of these x's together. So can you see anything we can do with this? Get all these together in one place.
Oh, okay, it's 3x, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
3x equals 12. Oh, and so x equals 4.
Brilliant, spot on, well done.